Okay, let's do this plunger top plate. I'm going to go ahead and open it this time. And let's choose the bottom surface that we used to create the bottom plate. And all I want to do is actually move it up a little bit before we get started. So I'm going to go to Insert, Features, Move, Copy. That's just going to let me select this body. I'll just select it from the tree. There we go. And I want to just translate it straight up a little bit. So I can just use this gimbal here if I want to. Just drag this widget up so that it moves by 1 millimeter. That's how much I want. And I'm going to uncheck copy because I don't need a duplicate. I just need to move the surface. So there we go. Now we've basically moved this surface up some. And now we can thicken it. So let's thicken it by maybe 3 millimeters, something like that. That looks about right. And round this bottom corner. And I'm going to round it by, 2 millimeters, let's say. Now I can use my shell tool, shell this puppy out, and we'll make it 1 millimeter thick. And it'll just get rid of that top face and make the whole thing nice and smooth. Now it turns out I think I want this to be thicker. So let's make it, I don't know, I think it's actually 0.25 inches thick, so it's pretty thick, as it turns out. Alright, and next we need to put a whole bunch of holes in this puppy. And we're going to do that pretty much the same way we did with the other one. So, in fact, I can just go ahead and go to Features, Extruded Cut, and then it's going to automatically start a sketch for me. So I can create some of these decorative holes. And I don't know that they have to be any particular way. Once again, we're going to be kind of eyeballing this into place because I don't care about bothering to measure all of that. And we can reverse the direction and go through all. And there we have it, some holes. We can do our radial pattern, circular pattern. Select this outer surface as our, features to pattern. Grab the cut extrude. There we go. So just choose a distance, and that looks right about right. Something like so. About 30 degrees. That looks good. Bunch of holes in it. And we're going to need to do also around this outside edge, we're going to do the exact same thing basically. So we'll go to maybe the front plane, do an extruded cut, draw a little circle, right about like so, and say through all. Perfect. I'm going to edit that sketch a little bit. Make it slightly smaller. Move it up just a tad. And you can see it gives us a really nice preview of what it's going to do in the subsequent features. Let's see. Clear selections. Features will be that. And, oh, this is a linear pattern. Sorry, pushed the wrong button. Circular pattern. Features to pattern. This. Around an axis. That. There we go. That looks more like it. And I think we actually want a whole freaking bunch of these holes. So let's go ahead and make it 60 holes. I think 60 times 6 is 360. That looks about right. That's going to be our part. And yes, well, I don't think I'm going to round all those edges because that's just going to make this a really heavy file. So I won't bother putting in all the little edge rounds. Oh, I just realized there's something we missed. One more thing. Let's add a, there's a little boss that sticks up on the top. So I can actually just click this face and draw directly on it And you can tell that as I get deeper and deeper into my model, I get a little bit sloppier in terms of the parametric history. It's because it matters less and less. If your foundation document, like if your master model, if that's got a bunch of bad stuff in it, then that's just going to cause problems for everybody. But if your individual part files have a little bit of dirty in them, then it's not that big of a deal. I can actually draft this face inward a little bit. So, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I want to angle this face inward. So I'm going to use the draft tool right up here. Click on draft. It's going to ask for a neutral plane. That's the edge that's not going to move. So I'll just click on this plane here as my neutral plane, so this bottom edge won't move. And then for faces to draft, I'll select this side face here. And we'll set our draft angle to maybe 20 degrees, something like that. And let's see what that looks like. Yeah, not too bad. So edit that feature, and I'm going to edit the draft feature. And we'll set that to maybe 45 degrees, something a little more severe. Nice. Now we can just round those off a little bit. That'll work, and we're not going to see the bottom, so that won't matter. That'll be good enough. Nice.